Hi fam, how are you? I'm Helen Sadler, your destiny helper. Always is a privilege to come before you. I hope you are having awesome holidays and with great expectations. I want to talk about something that I am getting copious amount of letters on, and it's obvious something that is a main forum that you're dealing with, and that is the proving narcissist. Why do they always have to prove themselves? Why can't they let things be? And this longs to competition, but it's a very dangerous competitiveness. And what happens is the narcissist inside is at a state of unrest. And when they see other people prosper, it bothers them because the narcissist has an extreme sense of grandiosity. And they think if anybody do anything that's good, it should be them. So the narcissist detests your success, and they will compete. A narcissist will compete against their own child. A narcissist will compete against their own family. A narcissist will compete against their wife because they have something to prove. And what they have to prove is, I'm the best and you're not going to get anything better than me. I'm the best there is. And with this attitude, it's grandiosity and it's loaded with pride. It doesn't yield to accountability or responsibility, because oftentimes the narcissist plays in his mind what he think he is, and he comes out in manifestation. He comes to the son's game, but he's not there for the son. He's there talking about when he was in high school, how he played ball and how he was the best there is, and he always finds something wrong with the son, even talking to other people. Well, other people may strangely look at him and say, how can he do that? That's his own son. Because the narcissist is out to prove that he's the best. He's out to prove that he's right. He's out to prove that nobody get past him and that he knows everything and everything belongs to him. And so what the narcissist does, even with the golden child, he takes on the life of the golden child. He goes to the games. He tells the golden child how to play, what to do. And if it is not the golden child, it's the scapegoat, then he tortures them in everything they do, and always tell them, if you had a did this, you could have done this, but because you wasn't looking, the ball came. Because you wasn't looking, you didn't kick it. Because you wasn't looking, you didn't run it. You didn't swim it. You didn't ski it. So it's never enough. And the narcissist will make sure everybody knows that they are there. They usually take over any kind of attention. All attention goes to the narcissist. But what you notice is the narcissist is always proving themselves, and they really have you on edge, because the narcissist see you cooking, and the next thing you know, the narcissist is in a cooking class and he cooks a few meals, and you say how good it is, and he asks, is it better than what you do? And you said yes. So once they find out that what they are doing at that time is better than what the supply does, the narcissist is satisfied. Everything, and finally it hits you. Why everything got to be a competition? And the narcissist, it's not a competition. I just know I'm the best. And you say, okay, I'll let you have it. That makes them angry, because they feel like you giving them something, and they don't want you to give it to them because they know they can earn it. But the narcissist is always proving. You bring your wife, your friends and their husband over, or their friends and their wife over, and now he's competing against the husband. He's competing against the husband, how he treats the wife. He's competing against the wife, how she's loving the husband. So it doesn't matter who it is. He's always competing, always in the win zone. And he will brag all day about how he won. He will constantly go on and on and on and on. And then he will devalue you if you interrupt that. If you think you could say anything, if you say, honey, you know, you really talked a lot about you tonight. You could have talked about someone else. Oh my God, you might as well told him that the world was coming to an end, because what he does is now he's a raging bull. And most of these people who have something to prove, They're bullies. They're bullies, and yet they're so empty on the inside. They are so empty. And then when they show empathy, it's not real empathy. They only use that to get close to you, and they will get close to you to prove that they can do it. If you smell good, they need a better cologne. If you want intimacy, they a lot of times they won't do it, but if they know you want it, because they're competing, and so they'll give it to you. And when they give it to you, they roll over on the bed and say, "See, wasn't I the best? Wasn't that the best you ever had? You never had anything like that, have you? It was the," and they go on and on and on and on and on and on and on. And if you do not oblige them, you have war in your house. And then your job, they compete against your job. You may be a pharmacist, and they may be a mathematician or a professor, and now they are comparing themselves to your job, even though it's two different functionalities, two different descriptions, and they don't care about that. They want to be the best. So they come around your job and they brag on themselves with your job. That's the narcissist. And a lot of times you're not ready for it. You're not ready for that. They compete financially. You bring in 2,000, you save 5,000 a year, they're going to save 7,000 a year. You bring in 2,000, they will not stop until they bring in 2,500. They bring in 7,000. And a lot of times what the narcissist would do in the proving stage, they've been known to go off and buy property. You don't know nothing about it. Well, they forged your name. They forged your name because the narcissist said, "See, look what we got. Look what I did. I found this, and I recognized it was a good buy, and I put your name down. I didn't just put my name down. I put your name down." And you ask, "I didn't know anything about this." And they say, "Yeah, because I took and made the deal." And you said, "Well, someone should have told me about it." He said, "Well, I'm telling you now." And you said, "No, that's irresponsible." He's like, "How is irresponsible?" And so the narcissists never see their accountability. They will never see what they did wrong. They will always see that they're winning, that they're winning, that they're winning. And usually the narcissist father put them down so, or tried to live with them. And they got this great big hole in them that no matter how they feed it, it never satisfied. It's never enough. And you know, the Bible said, Jesus said, "I'm the living water. I'm the water that came down from heaven." Hey, the narcissist isn't. And he takes that and he makes himself go to the forefront of everything you do. He's not living water. He doesn't satisfy. Living water satisfies. It fulfills. It completes. Not the narcissist. The narcissist does not complete anything. His competitiveness leaves gaping holes that cannot be filled because he won't let you fill them. If you go to do something concerning that, he will interrupt that. And he will, like it's Christmas, almost Christmas time, the narcissist will compete with having the best tree. They will compete with having the greenest tree. They will compete, with the supply being the best supply, comparing themselves to other people. Always. That's the narcissist. And that's a whole life with the narcissist. It's competing. If you buy a car, he wants a car. And he's angry that you bought a car and he didn't get a car first. And he's the head of the house and I should have the car first. I'm working the hardest. I'm putting in the most money. How did you get a car? You stole that from me because I told you that I wanted a car. And so now there is havoc in the house. Or you cook a food. He wanted to cook that food. I told you last week that I had a taste for that. You're like, "No, you didn't tell me last week. I must have forgot." He said, "Yeah, you forgot. I told you last week." So all of these things are coming up. All of them. Even in the time of financial struggle, even in the time when you are buying a house and you should not open up any more credit, even a time where you're inviting friends over. That narcissist does not care what it is, how it is. He's going to compete. He will even compete that how he makes love with you. You know, when I did this, I noticed you did that. Or when I said this, I noticed you. I bet you ain't never had that before. And it just takes everything away from it. Being the wife of a narcissist, everything away from it. And cooking, cleaning, take you to his job and start talking about his job because you got promoted. So he takes you to his job and start talking about his job and talking about how he's promoting, talking about how people can stay away from him, and talk about counseling. Just talk about certain things, anything to cut you down, anything to devastate you. That's the order of the conversation. The narcissist is very competitive. The narcissist is very angry that there's not more toward him, more attention, more time, more praise, more worship. And you're giving them all of that, but it would never, ever be enough. Not with the narcissist. They always can feed. They can always eat. Always. Remember that. Always. And it's never, ever a time where they get tired of it. It is in the core of their being, the core of their revelation. All right. I hope that you have enjoyed this. About the proven narcissist. Yes, he has something to prove. I did a video on the competitive narcissist. Go listen to that video on the competitive narcissist, the narcissist control, because all of it is about control. All of it is staying in the forefront. When the narcissists compete, if you get a narcissist that is an athlete, oh my God, they are almost malignant. I mean, they do things, they hurt people, and then they say, well, they should have took the ball, they should have ran, or they should have got out of the way. If they can't handle the game, move. And that's the way they teach your sons, your daughter to play. They're very vicious, very malignant, and then when they finish, if they win, oh, they celebrate the kids. But if they lose, those same kids are punished. You are punished because you didn't do this and I taught you to do this. This is why we lost, because of your lack of focus. That can be tremendous right there. Yeah. The narcissist is competitive, and the narcissist he has something to prove. Female is even worse, because a female takes all of her sexuality. She always adds her sexuality. She adds the details into her body, and she put everything in it, even in the sports arena, financial arena, on her job. She puts herself in it because she has to look the best, and that's why you can go into financial deficits, because she has to look the best, so she won't pay this bill. And she told you, well, you know that my job required me to do this. Or the narcissist won't pay the bill, especially when the narcissist is somatic. And if he's cerebral, he don't care really about the clothes. He's gonna look good unless they're cerebral and somatic. And what they do is they wear suits because they're the job. They want everybody to know that they're important. So they wear suits. Whether suits and you in a financial deficit, something is always coming behind. So the narcissist say, well, why don't you work harder? You're lazy. You want me to do everything. And you're like, no, if you stop buying all the suits, we could make it. We can have money. And so the narcissist start blaming you for being irresponsible with the finances, and you are starting to stress because you're coming up short every month with the finances, and you need the narcissist to listen to you. Yeah. But he does not, because his whole life is to prove himself. His whole life is to show you that you will never win. They sleep and eat it. They go to bed talking about what they did. They get up talking about what they did. And then they always ask you, is that right? Is that right? Did I do it right? You know, am I right? Nobody will ever do it like me. Isn't that right, babe? And you have to always say yes until you are frustrated. Because when you go out, they do it. No matter where you go, they do it. And you always have to be subservient to the narcissist. Because the narcissist is going to be number uno. And then you try to talk to them because the children pick up on it. And the older they get, the more ingrained that competitiveness, them proving. And it's not proven to you. The narcissist is trying to fill holes and trying to fill voids. So they exalt themselves above everybody else. And as they exalt themselves above everybody else, nobody could fit it. Nobody can fit in their plane. Nobody can measure up. Because they always overextend what they do. And they'll tell you, I'm the greatest. I was the greatest in high school. My dad, I was the greatest. Now I'm the greatest now. And the narcissist may have an inability to fulfill goals in playing sports. But the narcissist is not convinced. They can be overweight and they can't run. And the narcissist said, well, it wasn't my weight that ran. I'm tired because I'm dealing with you. I'm always talking to you. I'm always proving myself to you. And every time I get out there to do something, you fight me. You fight me. You fight me because you want to win. And you're not in shape like me. And the narcissist's stomach is hanging to his belly. And he's like, you're not in shape like me. This is why. You. And the blame starts shifting. But it's all about the narcissist. And a lot of times, most of these narcissists have went through abandonment issues, rejection issues. And we're going to talk about the orphan mind. The narcissist with an orphan mind. Oh my God. That's dangerous because most of them are psychopathic and malignant. They always have something to prove. So we'll do part 2, the orphan spirit, proving your worth. Because the orphan spirit always have something to prove. But the orphan spirit goes a little bit deeper and it's a lot more sinister. And you got to recognize that when that narcissist is proven, you find yourself almost like they're in a bully stage and you feel totally handicapped. You can't say anything, you can't do anything, and you know not to let the children do anything because the hostility goes toward the children. If your parents is living with you or a parent living with you, they go toward the parent. It does not stop. And because they're never satisfied, they're never fulfilled. That's only temporary. They get temporary satisfaction and they get temporary praise, and then they're angry because they want the praise to go and go. And one thing about it, once the narcissists have something to prove, that's the whole conversation. Nothing else matters. They don't talk about anything else. They don't want to hear about anything else. They want to hear how good they are and how you're not paying attention. If you paid attention to how good they were, you would know how good they are and you would be talking about it right now. But you don't appreciate them. You don't value them. Everything they do and all the time they're proving to you, you won't value them because they're proving themselves. And really, it's not you. They're probably proving themselves to mom and dad. But you are the figure that's going to get the what can I say? Whatever I'm looking for, the offset of what their parents did, because the person who's closest to you is going to reap what they wanted to give to someone else. They get upset at the job, they're going to bring it to you. Well, they're upset at their parents, they're going to bring that to you. Because their whole thing is to prove themselves. And if you interrupt that, you are blamed. You are fault for not recognizing what you have. And they would tell you, many women want me, many men want me, and you got me, and you can't value me. And then you go to bed, and they're talking. You know, I lay in this bed with you, but today, when I did what I did, you didn't even recognize, and you were like, I told you were good. I told you were the best. No one out there could beat you. Yeah, but I think that if you had acknowledged it more, they would have. It's never enough. And they talk. You have to get up. And they talk all through the night. And you're up and you're tired. And now they want breakfast. And you are really beat. You like, babe, if you want something, you can just get some cereal. I'm really tired. See, this is why you didn't acknowledge what I did. You didn't acknowledge that I was the best. Now I got to go eat cereal because you were jealous. And you're like, I'm not jealous of you. I'm in your corner. I want you to make it. I want you to do good. No, you don't. Because if you wanted me to do good, you didn't listen to me all night. No, you talked all night. Yeah, but I talked all night because I kept trying to get you to listen to it. And then they call you through the day. Same thing, same thing, same thing. They don't know how to let things go. And so you go over and over and over. And that one game could cost you a week. What? You got 3 more games. You got 6 more games. You got 12 more games. And so all of these games, this is what you get after each game. And then when the narcissist comes, he comes there to prove what he can do. He don't come there for support because he like, that's my son and I taught him. I showed him. You know what I showed him? Until people will want to separate themselves. And if he's a person of influence, they tolerate him. They don't celebrate him. They tolerate him. And you can tell they'll be so glad when the game is over. And when they go to the game, they sit a distance away from him. We social distance anyway now, but they sit even more away from him because the narcissist, as a risk taker, doesn't like to practice social distancing. The narcissist wants you to hear and see the proof of they're the best. And so they are proving themselves, and you are messing with their self-worth. You're messing with their imagery because you don't value their ability, their skill, their professionalism. You don't value it. And it took a lot of time for them to build themselves up. And you are almost out of your wits until when they work late, you are thanking God for the break. And you are hoping he go to a friend's house and he can stay all night. Even if he triangulate you, like, let her have him. Because you need a break. You need rest. The proven narcissist usually is a bully. And they go on and on and on telling you how you don't value them. And you go out of your way to value them. You go out of your way to take care of them. You go out of your way to praise them. You go out of your way to love them. You know, even in the midst, some people have said, even in the midst of love making, the narcissist stop and say, you know what? I was that good today. And they start talking about the event. And you like, for real? Right here? The event means more than anything to the narcissist, which loans frustration, irritation, and agitation to you. And you just want them to be quiet. And when they do go quiet, they're quiet because they're angry. They're quiet because they didn't think you gave them the proper attention. And you like, if I gave you anything more, I wouldn't be able to go to work. I won't be able. The narcissist could care less. Because the narcissist is thinking, I won. And you did not properly acknowledge that. Of course, the narcissist has a lot to prove. And you are the closest thing to them. So they're going to prove it with you. They're going to prove it with your children. Usually they are girl crushers because they limit the girls in what they do. And if the girls are good, they're going to stop them. If the sons are excellent, they're going to crush the sons because nobody can be better than the narcissist. And yet, the narcissists want them good so they can make the lead, because the better they are, the higher the narcissists get to go with them and to tell people how awesome they are. And everybody acknowledged the narcissist father because of the son, because of the daughter. but they take the credit. They won't even give the credit to the coach, the credit to the school. They take all the credit. These are narcissists who have something to prove. And this is why, at the end of the day, frustration will be left with you until you close that off. And even if you close it off, the narcissists keep talking and keep talking, and that happens for years. It happens for months. It happens for a week. He go on and on and on. You've been with the narcissist for 14 years, and you've been dealing with this from day one. You just didn't see it because you love them so. You just didn't see it because you didn't think it would be like this. And guess what? It's like this. The narcissist is out to prove his value. The narcissist is out to prove his worth. And it really don't have to. So I pray that you enjoyed this video. For those of you who are writing me, and I know it can be a point of irritation, but you have to learn how to deal with that braggadocious narcissist, because you got it until you're discarded or you escape. That is part of his core every day. Every chance he gets, he's gonna let you know how good he is. Okay? Thank you so much for being with me and spending this time with me. So make sure that you subscribe to my YouTube channel and push the bell so every time I come on, you will be alerted. Excuse me, you will be alerted. And we have a conference that is coming up. It's called Christian Dating in the 21st Century. Those of you that are believers, and then those of you who are not, I think you will love it still, because you're still dating and the principles are the same. So join us. You go to yourdestinyhelper.com, yourdestinyhelper.com, and you can register there. And dating is beautiful, but it's different in the 21st century. And I don't believe it will never be the same, but it's going to be better. All right. I'm Helen Sattler, your destiny helper, always loving you. And remember, we don't just survive, we thrive, because the greatness that's in you is about to burst forth. I'll see you on the next video. Don't forget to subscribe and don't forget to register. God bless.